It looks like Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, is going to have an incredibly important role to play in Avengers Secret Wars, and I believe at the end of Avengers Doomsday as well. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. It's been a while since we really have heard anything about Wanda, but Marvel has most likely had plans for her for the ending of the multiverse saga for a very long time. In fact, I think Marvel had plans for her to interact with Kang in what was originally supposed to be Kang Dynasty as our next Avengers movie, before moving on to Avengers Doomsday. But despite the switch, Marvel did set her up to be an incredibly important person for the MCU, teasing that she is actually a nexus being in the MCU. They teased this in WandaVision, and Agatha literally called her the Scarlet Witch, stating that she's not supposed to exist. Wanda has the power to change reality. She can alter probability and manipulate the timeline, serving as the focal point or anchor for the specific universe. And don't confuse Nexus being for anchor beings, because they're not the same thing. And in fact, according to Alex Perez, they're ditching the whole anchor being concept. Nexus beings, however, in the comics, are crucial to multiversal stability and often draw the attention of the Time Variance Authority, which will come into play in just a bit. So, needless to say, Nexus beings are incredibly powerful and can cause multiverse stability or instability with their reality warping powers, and it's those specific powers that Doctor Doom is going to want in Avengers Doomsday, and will also very specifically use in Avengers Secret Wars, according to a new report. Now, during the events of the multiverse saga, I'm assuming that the TVA has probably monitored Wanda. Now, Doom is basically going to replace Kang, so Doom probably has monitored Wanda as well, probably from the Library of Worlds. In fact, I think she's a key part to Doom's plan, because if you secretly want to create a universe that is perfect to you, you kind of need a way to do that. You need the power to do that. Now, in the Secret Wars comics, Doom gets the powers of the Beyonder through Molecule Man, and Molecule Man actually takes them away from him at the end and gives them to Reed Richards. I think Wanda might take the place of Molecule Man in Doomsday. I especially think this if this new report is accurate. Here's what this new report says. This is coming from Scooper Majestic, who states the film reportedly takes place 8 years after the events of Avengers Doomsday. All timelines and universes converge in the Void, creating Battleworld. And I'm not too sure that it's going to take place in the Void, because I think the Void might be used as a place to escape Battleworld, but we'll wait and see on that. Dr. Doom rules this new merged world from a massive fortress that combines elements of his classic castle with the Citadel at the end of time, a location connected to multiverse control in the comics. In this MCU version, the fortress serves as the center of power from which Doom maintains order on Battleworld. One of the most important parts of the story is the Scarlet Witch. Concept art reportedly shows Wanda being held prisoner in Dr. Doom's castle. She is not just a hostage. Doom keeps her there because she is a nexus being, someone with chaos magic that can connect different realities. In this theory, Doom uses her power to keep Battleworld together and control the new multiverse. The report also says Doom is not alone in his castle. Other very powerful characters are also kept there as prisoners. These include Sentry and Reed Richards, possibly because they could threaten Dr. Doom's control over reality. Doom would reportedly marry Sue Storm, similar to the comics where Doom rules alongside the Richards family. However, in this version, the situation would be different. Sue would appear publicly besides Doom as the ruler of Battleworld, while Wanda would secretly remain in prison, since her power is what keeps the world running. Now, as always, take these leaks with a grain of salt, but I do think this makes sense, and I like it. In fact, it lines up with my theory that the Scarlet Witch is the key to making everyone remember their lives before Battleworld, because everyone on Battleworld probably won't remember anything before Battleworld was created. At least that's how it is in the comics, and based on the leaked concept art with Doom on the throne and Strange, Sue Storm, and Franklin Richards by his side, that's how it is in the MCU as well. And that's why they worship God Emperor Doom, because he literally created their world and lives. That's all they know, at least until the Scarlet Witch can be freed and make everyone remember. And this job of freeing the Scarlet Witch will come down to the Young Avengers. taking a page from another comic story, Children's Crusade. This is what insider Alex Perez had to say about the Young Avengers in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. He states, "The Young Avengers, which features Kate Bishop as co-captain, role at the end of the multiverse is equivalent to the role of Ant-Man in Endgame." And y'all need to stop using that leaked concept art as an idea of what's going to happen, because it's very different this time around. Yeah, the Young Avengers seem to be in a pretty good place, sitting at that what seems to be a bar with Wong and Star-Lord. I think the Young Avengers are getting together, but I think they're going to have a very specific purpose, and like I mentioned, that is basically freeing the Scarlet Witch. So it would appear, based on what Alex says, kind of comparing their role to Ant-Man's role being in the quantum realm during the snap, it seems like the Young Avengers aren't affected by Battleworld. And maybe that's because they go to the quantum realm, which makes sense because Cassie knows all about the quantum realm and how to get there. It would make sense that in Avengers Doomsday, as the multiverse is about to collapse, she takes the Young Avengers, who she's with, into the quantum realm to survive the end of the multiverse, only to return in Secret Wars once Battleworld is already created. Then, the Young Avengers, who will include Billy and Tommy, Wanda's kids, will go on a quest to save her, just like the comic story of Children's Crusade. In the story, Tommy and Billy realize they are brothers and the sons of the Scarlet Witch. At the time, Scarlet Witch suffers from memory loss, and she is about to marry Dr. Doom. Billy manages to get to her and explains everything, but she still actually says she would like to marry Dr. Doom. The Avengers and the X-Men even show up and try to save her, but she sends them back. It's actually Dr. Doom who chooses power over the Scarlet Witch, and that's why they don't get married. Massive fumble, my guy. Terrible decision. Just terrible. So I imagine the story will be somewhat the same, with the exception of the Scarlet Witch won't be marrying Dr. Doom. She'll be a prisoner that the Young Avengers will free. From there, it gets bad for Doom because I think Wanda will restore the so-called reality of Battleworld and reveal that there was a multiverse before. Everyone had lives before, but Doom took it upon himself to make a new universe and rule over it. That's where everyone starts to rebel, form a massive Avengers team, and go up against Doom. And if she is holding this universe together, then that probably means that she has the ability to tear it apart. But now there's a problem. Battleworld is the only thing that exists. It's the only universe. That's where I believe we get an ending similar to the comic Secret Wars, where Reed Richards, Molecule Man, and Franklin start to restore the multiverse. I think that the end will be somewhat similar with the Scarlet Witch, Franklin, Richards, and maybe more people using their universe creating and reality warping powers to make a new universe for everyone to live in. That's not ruled by one person, but is free. And that's the new MCU that we'll go into after the soft reboot. So I think this is basically what we're going to see happen in Secret Wars according to these new reports. I personally like it because it does bring back the Scarlet Witch. It does help her go through a redemption arc, not including what we might see happen in Avengers Doomsday, because she might side with Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday, but ultimately realize that he is the villain, be a prisoner in Avengers Secret Wars, but then be freed and then help everybody in a massive way, and then fight Dr. Doom with the rest of the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and probably a ton of heroes and maybe even villains at the end of Avengers Secret Wars. Then she has further redemption by helping create a new world that is free that everybody can live in. And I think this would be a pretty good redemption arc for the Scarlet Witch. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things with Avengers Doomsday and of course Marvel. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.